Hi, welcome to Mindful Yoga. I'm Nancy, and our theme today is one of the yogic virtues, Saucha. In Sanskrit, it means purity. So we're going to be cleansing, clearing, brightening our bodies and minds. At the same time, we're going to be working on opening up the lateral line of the body, the connective tissue or myofascial tissue there. So join me in a seated position where you can be comfortable. We'll be doing about 5 minutes of breathing before we get into movement. You could be in a chair for this part if you would like. Bring the crown up towards the ceiling and let feet, knees, hips sink down towards the earth. Long spine. Inhale into throat, down, expanding lungs and ribs and lower belly. Exhale, squeeze the diaphragm in and squeeze up through ribs and lungs. Long yogic dirga breath here, a deep cleansing breath. Breathing in, refreshing, and breathing out, detoxing, purifying. As you breathe, feel if there are any places of tension. Where do you carry your tension, your anxiety? No judgment, we all carry it. Just feel it, welcome it. It's just happening, and it's there in the body. Breathe into it. Now we're going to overlay an ujjayi breath on the deep, long breath that we've had. To clear the mind, we contract the back of the throat as if we're fogging a mirror on the exhale. So let the gaze be soft. Bring the attention to the back of the throat as you breathe up, contracting the throat and making a sound in your head. Continue with this ujjayi breath 3 or 4 more times, focusing mind into body. Clearing throat and head, this ocean sound. One last time. Then we'll do one version of Bhastrika breath. Let the left hand be on the left thigh. Bring the right forefinger up to the left nostril, which you close. And of course, this can always be mental, so if that bothers you, just leave the finger off. And we're going to be breathing through the right nostril. Intensely, deeply, 5 or 6 times. Detoxing, building the fire. 2 more times. Then bring the forefinger to the right nostril, and either mentally or with that forefinger on the right nostril, we'll breathe intensely and deeply up and down through the left nostril. Burn through what blocks you. Purifying, coming to the essence. Two more breaths. And let the hand come down. Bring the hands to the side and we'll have one big sun breath. Eyes out to the horizon, arms reaching up. welcoming in the bright, clear, free sun. Arms meet above, hands meet above. Pause, and then exhale down, reaching out, bringing the essence of the sun right into the body. Now, removing anything high that is underneath you, you might want a blanket under your hips for just a little bit of lift and comfort. We're going to talk about the lateral line now. So the lateral line of connective tissue comes from under the heel, up the back of the calf, and then to the side of the thigh, up the IT band, which is often tight. Then it comes up into the glutes, goes up the back, and up the intercostals, which are these muscles that are above, among the ribs here. It then comes up the back side of the neck. So we'll be stretching all of these places to stretch out that lateral line on both sides. First, let's just wiggle back and forth a little bit. We have quite a bit of fishiness to us. Each side loosening up through the ribs and the waist. Now extend the legs out. And we're going to turn the feet, not by pointing and flexing, but by turning them in and then turning them out. In and out. And that turns the perineals, which are where the lateral line starts in the heel. Well, we're just under the bone of the lower part of the leg. Then bring one foot up over. Take the foot in your hand and just turn it a little bit. Again, we're working those perineals at the bottom, kind of between the heel and the bone of the lower leg. And then the other one, turning the foot up and then down, turning the back part of the foot, under part of the foot up towards the ceiling, just wherever is comfortable. Always modifying all of my instructions towards the body that you inhabit. Now bring one leg up and feel up the side of the thigh. This is very much part of the lateral line of our body. So if we're tight here, we're tight in the sides of our body. And you might just massage up there a little bit. That IT band tends to be a little stiff. And then we'll do the other side, feeling that IT band that runs from the hip to the knee and giving it a little massage. Then the lateral line runs through the glutes. So put the feet out straight. And then tighten the glutes and let them lift you up a little bit. Perhaps you can notice I'm coming up just a little bit and then coming back down. So tightening the glutes, just becoming aware of them. We're going to do a side bend. It might be more comfortable with your feet in. Feet can be out either way. One arm up, the other one slides out and over. The intercostal muscles run between the ribs. The connective tissue that runs up through that area is an important part of opening up the lateral sides of the body. And lastly, the lateral line comes to the neck. So let's stretch the back side of the neck, turn the nose towards the corner of the room, and then bring it down. Notice sensation in the back side of your neck, relaxing down through jaw and tongue, lips and cheek, and the back of the neck, and bring it back up. Then turning the nose towards the other corner, nose comes down, Notice any sensations through the back of the neck, perhaps even back into the shoulder. Raise the head, and we'll come to a lying position. But we're going to use the blanket, or you might have a pillow, or anything that you can use to bring the side of the body over. If you don't have anything, just stretch out, and you'll still get a nice side stretch. So I'm bringing, if you have a prop, I'm bringing it between the waist or hips and the underarm. Stretch the legs out, stacked on each other, hips stacked, knees, ankles stacked. And then bring this upper arm up over, let the head rest down on the top arm. Relax through the abdomen, stomach, shoulders. Let yourself feel the stretch on the side of the body. And if you'd like to come back to either that very open, deep Dirga breath, or the Ujjayi breath, contracting the back of the throat to focus this side opening. A few more breaths here, giving a chance for the side of the body to open and relax. The purification is a combination of relaxing, letting go, and also building some fire, which we will do in a minute. Then coming back up, come over to the other side and stretch out the other side. Let the head come down. You can always do this without a prop. Bring the arm up over, stacking hips and ankles, and finding balance. Sometimes the hip has a bit of an imbalance there. And breathing, opening up through the ribs. The myofascial tissue, or the connective tissue, runs throughout our body. It was thought to just be some gray matter that wasn't important. And now we find out how basic it is to all of our movement and our health. 2 more breaths here. Then remove the blanket and come onto your back. Raise the right leg. Give it some support with your hands behind the thigh. And we're going to come over the midline with the right leg towards the left. You might move the ankle with the sole going towards the wall opposite you, just a little bit, and see how that increases the feeling in the IT band. Rub the hand up and down between hip and knee. We're stretching out this lateral side, even at the level of the thigh. And you might feel it down at the level of the ankle, along the calf. 1 more breath here. Then bring that leg up and down. Other leg comes up and goes over midline. Give it some support. Turn the foot a few times. See how that feels, experimenting with stretching through the side of the leg even a little more. Rubbing up and down between knee and hip. Opening up, massaging that connective tissue and muscle that runs up the side. Purification is to come to some essence, to let go of the little things, to cleanse physically and also mentally. And leg comes up and down so that you can be clearer and brighter. Now we're going to Bring the knees up over the hips, arms come out to the side. Let the knees fall over to one side, then come up through middle, strong in the belly, over to the other side. Use your side intercostal muscles in the side ribs as you pull those legs up. So stretching as you come over through the side, and then strengthening the side as well as the belly as you come back up. And next time you come up to center, let that be the last time. Bring the feet down, roll over, and we'll come around into tabletop. Let's do 2 cat-cows just to get the spine moistened and loosened. Inhale, let sternum come forward. Raise up with the gaze. Exhale, the spine curves up towards the sky. And one more time. Hips rise, nose rises. And then bringing the spine up. And come back through center. Now bring shoulder and hip towards each other on the side. A very short movement. Then straighten out and shoulder comes towards hip on the other side and back. Do that 2 more times on each side. Using the muscles along the side to squunch in and then to stretch out through the connective tissue. Pivot on the knees, letting the shins come over to the right. Let the weight come into the right hand and the left foot reaches out. Left arm reaches up. Then the arm and the leg, foot can both come back just a few inches, opening up through the side of the body and through the side front of the body. This is called mandala. A mandala always has a center to it. It comes to the essence. It's a representation of the essence of life. And so we ourselves in our bodies, as we do yoga, as we move through life in our relationships and our actions, we too clarify our center. Then bringing the gaze down and the hand down, we'll do that on the other side. Pivot the shins over to the other side. Weight comes into the left hand, right arm rises, and you're balancing on the right toe down below. Lift up, reach out, bring the hand and foot back farther, open up, light and bright and clear. One last inhale, bring the hand down and gaze down and come back through tabletop. Now we're going to come to a standing position. Bring the feet just about under the hips, a little wider perhaps. Knees are soft. Arms reach up. Palms can face each other, or you can have steeple fingers with 4 fingers together. Ground down through the feet, and inhale as you reach up through the fingers. Exhale over. Feel the long stretch through the side of the body, perhaps down into the side of the hip. Inhale back up, reach up, and over to the other side. What do you notice? Perhaps the lateral part of the body is opening up more and more. You're freeing up energy as you stretch through the connective tissues and you cleanse the body and come up. Bring the arms down. Bring the feet wide. Let the hips start to turn side to side as the heel comes up on each side with the hips as they turn. And as the hips turn, let the arms turn a little bit, bringing movement to the body. Then coming back through center, bring the hands to the waist. The weight goes into the right foot and the left foot comes around as if you're curtsying. So both knees are bending a bit as we imagine a curtsy. Then raise the left arm and bring it over, balancing through the feet, opening up through the lateral line in a bit of a different way. Bring the feet back under hips. The right foot comes back behind on toe. Come down into the curtsy. Open up on the side and come over. One more time on each side. Feel the essence of this posture. Where is its center? In a sense, it's off center. And yet, in its asymmetry, it's bringing us right into our center, our essence. We're going to come into a chair pose. Bring the energy into the feet. Inhale as arms rise. Hips and knees are soft. And sit down. Now bring the attention into the glutes and strong through the glutes, trying to use the glutes as much as possible. Come back up. Let the arms be in front if that's more comfortable, or diagonal or up. Sit down on a chair, a high chair. Then strong through the glutes. Let the glutes bring you up. And one more time. Soft in knees and hips, sitting down just as much as is right for the body. Then using the glutes as well as the legs, come up. And let the hands come down. Now bring the arms out to the side. We're going to come up on tiptoes. Coming up and down. Up and down. This is a movement that uses the perineals down where the connective tissue for the lateral line starts. So focusing into the balls of the feet, focusing into the balance that comes up through the body. And one more time, up and down. And arms come down. We're going to come down for a gate pose. So coming on to one knee, bring the other leg out. Knee is a little soft there. Perhaps you can be on the heel with the extended leg. You might have your sole down towards the mat, but probably it'll be up a little bit. Extend up through the spine. Straight from hip to knee. Bring the arm up and over as the other hand comes down the leg, coming straight over, face out towards the front. Inhale, back up. Let the hand come down. Other one reaches up and the leg reaches out. And do this however works for you. You can always keep those toes down as well. Come up. Opening the lateral side once again. And coming down. As we do yoga, we clarify the body, its movement, and our energy. Bring both knees together and we'll do the other side. Again, if it feels better for you to keep the toes forward, that's fine. but I'm suggesting coming onto the heel, with the toes slightly down. Lift the arm, slide down the leg, keep the body in the front, forward, the side coming directly down towards the leg. So even as you're enjoying the stretch, also purify the attention, intent upon this particular movement, this particular opening of the body that unblocks places of tension and anxiety and allows us to be less divided, more right here. We're going to come into a knee down lunge position. So one foot, let's have the right foot forward, and we're on the left knee. Make sure your knee's right over the ankle in the front and hip over knee in the back. Align the hips horizontally. This left one might come forward a little bit and the right might come back a little bit, so they're straight across. And we're going to do another version of the Bhastrika breath to raise the fire here, raise the energy that purifies and purges. Arms reach up, and then we're going to come down 3 times, inhaling as we're up. Then elbows come back behind and fists turn up with a ha. And once again, ha. And 3rd time, ha. Now arms come forward and back, ha. 2 more times, ha. Ha. Now 2 times up, ha. Ha. Forward twice, ha. Ha. Up once, ha. And forward once, ha. Take a breath in and out. How does the body feel? Then bring that other knee down and the other foot up, getting a stable position here. Hips aligned. Arms reach up. Ha. 3 times. Ha. Ha. 3 forward. Ha. 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 Twice. Ha. Ha. Forward. Ha. Ha. Once up. Ha. Forward. Ha. And bring the feet together. The knees together. Let's come down into child's pose. Slide the hands forward. Reach back through the arms, back through the spine. Then walk the hands around and around so they come kind of beside the shin, but out a ways. Some straightness to the spine, although you're not completely straight up, you're diagonal. And then bring the nose around to the corner. So a kind of twist here. Twists become easier. Of course, they spiral the spine, but they also use this lateral line and benefit from being open in the lateral line. Then coming around again to the front and over to the other side. Keep the hands coming around. My hands are about 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches out from my legs. Turn farther so your nose comes towards the corner and the shoulders are raised up just to the height of the arms. And breathe. Then come back through middle. And we'll come down onto a prone position just for a moment to open the front line. We want to open the various lines of the body. The forearms are under the shoulders, anchor down through the hips, down through legs and the front of the feet. Lift up through the roof of the mouth and the top of the skull. The gaze is in front of the mat. Let the shoulder blades float down. Come into that pure essence of the wider universal self that resides within you. One more breath here. And let the torso come back, down, and bring yourself up. We're going to do a twist before we end here today. So coming into a sitting position, you might want a blanket again under your hips. Bringing the hips up just a little bit on a twist aids, not absolutely necessary. Bring the right foot up by the left thigh. Here for less challenge, if you want a little more challenge, bring it over. So we're going to spiral the spine here. The right hand comes back behind as a kickstand, and the left arm wraps around the knee. Extend out through that left heel. Inhale up through the crown, and exhale. Begin to turn through the waist and the hips. Inhale up, and exhale round, turning through those intercostal muscles, that connective tissue through the ribs. Inhale up, and exhale round with gaze and shoulder. Coming to about 70% of what you could do. Breathing up and down through that spiraled spine. And feeling the breath like a warm flame, cleansing and purifying. Then release and unwind. Bring the other foot out. And the left foot comes up, perhaps over. Left hand comes back behind, and right arm wraps. Extend out through the heel. Inhale up, and exhale, little by little. Keeping the spine elongated, and coming up through ribs, and then shoulders. Hug the muscles into the bones here, strong core, and yet very flexible spine. Relax down through the hips. One last inhale and exhale. And release and come around. Remove the blanket, and we'll come down into a lying position. Feel the body sinking down into the earth. The places of connection with the earth in heels, in calves, glutes, shoulder blades. Bring the knees up, hands on the knees. Let's circle them around in opposite directions. Small circles. And then back the opposite direction. Then letting the knees come up to the armpits. Hands come around the soles of the feet, arch or outer part of the soles. Happy baby. Letting the focus go. Resting in what is naturally pure within you. Relax down through the lower back, between the shoulder blades, and in the back of the neck. Then releasing the feet, We'll have a few minutes of Shavasana, just relaxing down. Feeling the softness in the bottom of the feet, the heels and the ankles, up through the calves and the sides of the thighs, sides of hips, smooth and soft up through the sides of the ribs, well moistened and warm, up through shoulder blades and the back sides of the neck, relaxing there. Letting the warmth in the neck extend up through the back of the skull and over the top of the crown, down through the forehead, nose, lips, down through the throat to the heart. This center, this essence of natural purity. All we need to do is get out of the way. Relax, open, and pure essence emerges. Continue to lie here, relaxing as long as you would like. Breathing in the air and giving it back. Namaste.